Horse racing tips. I'm here with a horse racing tip for you today. I'm going to talk about show betting for profit as a standalone bet. Hi, welcome to All Horse Racing All the Time. I'm your host, Al. This is a show for horse players and horse racing fans alike. Today, I'm going to show you how to use show betting, take advantage of this wager to profit with it as a standalone bet. Now, a lot of players, they might use show betting as sort of a hedge play or part of a win, place, or show wager or place show wager. Here, I'm going to show you how to use show wagering as a devastating handicapping tool to profit and profit consistently. Okay, and it takes a little bit of legwork. It's not just a case of looking for the longest shot on the board and using it to show, or handicapping along the way and considering a show bet. Yeah, this takes a little bit of work, and it starts with a few things, and I'll lay them out for you right now, and then we'll go into it. We'll get into how to use these weapons to hit on show bets for profit. First things first, you want to handicap the card in advance. Now, this is for you people who are serious about this and you want to really take advantage of the show play. You want to handicap the races in advance. You want to have, regardless of what handicapping tools you have, what you utilize, whether it's the buyer speed figures or equibase figures or Ragazine sheets. On the side, what you want to have are Brisnet figures, your Brisnet PPs on the side. You say, I don't use Brisnet PPs. I don't want to pay for another set of PPs. I got good news for you. I have a link and I'll put it down below. You can get Brisnet PPs for all the races, 100% free. And I'm going to put that link down below so you can get your Brisnet PPs as long as you know the sire name or the trainer name. You can scroll down to the click on that, scroll down to the date, and find your track and download your track and your race number, and then you click on the ultimate and you'll get your ultimate PPs. So you probably want to have a computer handy as well. This is probably better for wagering at home, or if you're wagering client, it definitely is better unless you bring a laptop to the track or you fiddle around with your phone. It's a little more difficult with the phone because it's small. So you get your Brisnet PPs and whatever. You handicap the races in advance. You want to be able to keep an eye on the board. You want to see some wagering platforms, ADWs, they provide you with the win plays, the place and show payouts. So you want to keep an eye on that. But if it doesn't, and you want to keep an eye on this anyway, as they're nearing post time, or as they're coming towards post time, you want to keep an eye on the pools. So you might get an idea in advance. Now, if you've handicapped these races in advance, maybe you see a longer one out there as one of the ones that as one that's going to probably finish in the money somewhere. Keep an eye on the pools. Again, keep an eye on the pools, the win, place, and show pools, because sometimes lower odds horses pay more to show than a long shot. And I saw a race yesterday where in one race, a 5-to-1 shot was paying considerably more to show than one of the long shots. So don't think just because the board says 20-to-1 or 15-to-1 that you're going to get the best show prices. So you want to keep an eye on the board. Now, this is a standalone play, a wager unto itself. Maybe you're not playing win, maybe you're not playing an exotic or something like that. You're in a race and you say, this race, my play is a show play. Maybe you want to pound it. And this could be a very high percentage play for you. And Brisnet, another reason to have the Brisnet PPs is they show at the bottom of the chart the running styles that are winning at the current meet. For the total for the meet and total for the past week. And there are 4 different running styles. There's the early types. There's the early to pressing types. That's a versatile. It's kind of a hybrid between a presser and early speed type, in that the horse can be controlled. The jockey has the option of sending him to the lead or pressing the pace. And he could do either depending on how the pace of the race, the shape of the race appears to be. Then, of course, you have strictly the pressing type that runs a length or 2 or so behind the leaders, and then the closers. That's the S type. They're slower, they come on late. And now, if you look at the trends for the meet, you could see what types of horses are winning. An example, at Gulfstream, at one race, the early to early pressing types were winning almost 80% of the races. So you could almost guarantee, or you get a good feel, that the pressers or the closers really have little or no shot. And the Brisnet, it's beautiful. Also, what it tells you, it shows you what post positions have been winning for a meet. Again, at Gulfstream, at one of these races, 40% of the time the rail was winning. And this is, these numbers change regardless of the race, but the Brisnet PPs, they show you for certain lengths what post positions are winning. So you got a good feel there. So now I want this show bet to be a high percentage play where the type of it's a longer shot. You're going to get paid. You're looking at the board. You're looking at the pools. You see you're going to get a nice payout. Maybe, and these are especially strong when you see there's a vulnerable favorite that's taking a lot of money, or even intermediate money. And you see it's vulnerable and you think it has a good chance to hit the board. And now your horse, say it's an early to pressing type, or an early speed type, which has been winning at the meet. And then you match it up. Now, is that horse that you have, that you're considering for show, is he in a post position? Brisnet PP has it again, in a post position that's been favorable for the meet. And that's not just a coincidence. Maybe the middle of the track is crowned somehow a little bit. And the horses that are on the inside have a bit of a problem. So some tracks you see, example, I saw one track, post 4, 5, 6, and 7 were virtually not coming in at all. Whereas the inside posts 1, 2, and 3 and posts 8 and out are coming in. Or maybe it's just the outside that's dead. And in some races, for instance, at Gulfstream, there was a 5 furlong. I believe it was on Tapeta and also on turf, where the rail was virtually dead, winning less than 7% of the time. So sometimes you get a good horse and it's on the rail, and you say, you know what, this position, you got a bad post position, maybe the rail is slow, maybe it's dirt, whatever, you get the idea. You look at that Brisnet figure and you see that your horse has a running style that's been successful at the meet, that fits the race and gets a favorable post position where winners have been coming in. And this is really great when you have one of the favorites or a couple of the favorites that are stuck. They don't have the running style that fits. They might have a high speed figure, but they don't have the style that fits the race that's been winning at the distance, and they get an unfavorable post. And now you have your long shot lined up in one of these positions, in one of the post positions that's been doing well, reasonably well. And he has a running style that fits the race. And he's not taking much money in the show pool, or in the show pool where you could at least double your money. And you've handicapped the races in advance. I mentioned that earlier. So you already see that he fits the race by the numbers. Be it his form cycle, he's due for a good race. There's something favorable about the trainer. There's something favorable. He's getting a jockey that excels at the distance. Maybe he's getting weight even. Weight matters in a race when you're handicapping a race. They say 5 pounds, depending on the distance. It could be up to, it can lead up to, in a route, it could lead up to a couple of lengths, a length and a half or so. And a little less, but still at least a length or so at a shorter distance. So you want to take this into consideration. So you handicap the races. You have your regular PPs, whatever they are. You have your Brisnet PPs. Again, a link to the free Brisnet PPs down below. You use those Brisnets to check the running style. You check what running style has been successful at the meet and what's successful over the last week. They give you both side by side at the bottom of the charts. And you check, go with their post positions. They give you percentages. So now you're lined up. You have a longer one. It's going to pay double or more, maybe 3 to 1, 8 to 1. Yeah, you get some good prices sometimes on these show bets. Like you can easily, if you do this the right way, you can you have a high percentage play where you can double your money or more most of the time. And even if it's a play, if you find a situation where you're going to get close to double your money, maybe you're going to get $3.50 for a $4 bet, $3.50 back for a $2 bet, but it's almost sure you're lined up. What bank is going to pay you that kind of money for something that's a very high percentage bet? And I want to touch on this for a second. Some people say, oh, show betting, that's a waste of time. Nonsense. Hogwash. The great Stephen Christ, the king of the pick six, when he was getting started in horse racing, to build his bankroll, he was putting $100 on a horse to show every day. All right. He'd make a $100 show bet every day when he wasn't going to be at the track, or he wanted to get that in for whatever reason. He wasn't going to get to the track. And he'd find his show horse, handicap the card, find his show horse, and put $100 on it. And he put $100 on it, even if he thought he was going to make a sure 20 bucks sometimes. And he built his bankroll on show bets early on. And a lot of times he made the very high percentage bets, did it very carefully, did the legwork, cashed a lot of tickets most of the time. And a lot of them, he got back. He didn't get $4 back for a $2 bet. He was betting 100, and some of these he was getting back nice payouts, 4 to 1 odds in this, and he's cashing these things and building his bankroll. Now, I don't recommend. I recommend doing this while you're playing the races and you can eyeball the board. You know, Stephen Christ, it worked out well for him. He picked his spots. And he did very well with the show wagering, just show wagering. You know, back when he was getting started, they might have had a trifecta only once a day on the card, 9th race or something, or 3rd and 9th race. And there were limited betting options, not the betting options that we have today. But you want to do this while you're watching the races and you're seeing the prices right before your eyes. And maybe you want to line up a couple of these. It's a high percentage bet if you do the legwork, where you can make money with show betting as a standalone bet. I've done it before. I've started sometimes, and some days, maybe I had, I did it one time, more than once actually, where I started at one time, I had $4 in my wagering account. And it took a few days, and suddenly I was over $100 and went even higher and higher and higher, took it up to over 500 and then it withdrew. And it wasn't just show wagering around the way, but most of the wagers, when I got up to at least 50, were strict show wagers. And I was hitting like, yeah, oftentimes really 5 in a row, 4 out of 5. Using these methods. So it can be done. And I'm just passing this along to you. It's a devastating tool Especially you say things got out of hand, right? And you're down to your final $2. Your final $2, I'd say you want to cash something and at least turn it into $4. Maybe you say, I can't do this. I can't do this. There's no value in show betting. Maybe if I hit a 1/2 exacta or a 2-1 daily double, I'll get $20 back at once. Well, what are the odds of that happening compared to hitting a show bet, well-planned show bet, where you look over the card and you look it over, you have your Brisnet and whatever are the figures. Maybe you just use Brisnet, perfect for this. And you find a solid show bet. Maybe you have to sit out a race until that one comes up. You don't got to do it every time. And I don't suggest doing this for 7 to 5 shots where you're betting your last $2 to get back 20 cents. You want to find the opportunity to do it, because if you take the time and you have the patience, you want to be patient in horse racing, there's always another race. And if it's a bad race and you're down to your last few bucks, $5, $10, maybe you want to save this show betting tool for when the opportunity is there. Maybe it's not today, maybe it's tomorrow. Patience. Find it and you will hit it. You will hit it. And you have the luxury. You could root your horse on. He's in a good post position. He has a running style that fits the race. And the handicapping shows you that he has a good chance to do it. And look at the other things. How is the horse at the distance? How is the horse at the track? And you say, oh, wow, look at this. At this distance today, he's on the board 3 out of 5 times, or 4 out of 5 times, 5 out of 5 times. You cover your angles, and you will hit this bet. And the beauty of this is, if you're one of those whales out there, and you're a $100 bettor, or like Stephen Crisp was, and he wasn't even a whale at the time, you pick your show bet and you take your $50, whatever it is, $20, $100, and you put it on your play. There's a good chance you're going to hit this. And you've done the legwork. Remember, you got to do the legwork. This is not just horsing around, messing around. You do the legwork, you will hit these bets, and you will hit it a very high percentage of the time, and you'll usually get a decent price. Because remember, again, you're looking at the pools, right? You're getting paid. So show betting for profit as a standalone bet. I hope this works for you. I do a lot of live shows on horse racing all the time, handicapping the races in real time. Open chat. We have a great community here, watching a regular community, a friendly crowd shows up on a regular basis. We share our selections, handicap the races in real time. And I handicap the races, of course, in real time for you. I've been a winning player since 2011, and I will show you. You'll see exactly what I'm looking for when I break down a race. And shortly before post time, I'll give out my selections. I'll give you my key contenders up front while handicapping. But then I will tell you the exact play that I'm putting in. If I'm playing the race, if I'm passing the race, I'll still give a play. But I'll let you know if I'm passing the race. But a lot of the races I play, most of them I play, and I'll give you my play. So if you want to go along, if you like it, my play will be there right there. I'll give you my selections as well. And talking about show betting, I will do a live show at one of the tracks where I do nothing but show betting to demonstrate what I'm talking about in this video. During the course of an entire card, still handicapping the races in real time from the time the board opens right until the board closes. And again, with my show play this time, I won't be giving out exactas in that. I'll do at least one show, and I'll link that show to this video. It'll be somewhere. I'll schedule that. And you could see what I'm talking about right here in action, winning money. And I will win money that day. And thanks for watching, everybody. If you like the show, you find this helpful, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to get notification of all new and upcoming videos. Until next time, if you're playing the races today, best of luck and bring it home. All the best, and talk with you soon.